Welcome to yet another episode of Wine with Shagit. Today we have someone who handles the whole winery by himself. He is a winemaker. He does harvesting, he does pruning, he does all by himself. He has an immense knowledge of viticulture, terroir as well as winemaking. Meet the face of Vallonne, Mr. Sanket. Welcome to the show, Sanket.
Thank you, Shagit. And I'm very happy that you started a show like this, which would feature people who are actually involved in winemaking.
Exactly. So that is what the main goal is. So basically, we as the back end people who don't come in front usually. So that is the reason that people actually should know who are the one who are actually making this beautiful wine to the people. So that is one of the reasons why we have this show, and you are featured on it for sure.
Thank you very much. One more thing I would like to add is, though as in I'm the face of Vallonne, but we have a fantastic team, very versatile team, doing multiple jobs at a time. So I'm representing them.
Okay, great to know that. Well, tell me something about your journey, Sanket.
I never thought that I'll get into winemaking.
Okay.
It was never the plan, but it was. I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
So I'm originally from Mumbai. I've
Mhm.
done my graduation in biotechnology. Again, the idea of doing biotechnology was to do something different, something new. And I was always inclined towards different aspects of biology, oriented towards nature, those things. So biotechnology, we had this small aspect of winemaking, fermentation. That was something interesting. Wanted to do something related to alcohol, but back then when I was doing biotechnology, the idea was to do something related to biofuel or alcohol as a fuel. But then after I completed my biotechnology, I saw this 2 years course in Nasik. I won't really recommend it to anyone because the faculty is honestly not that good even today. But then yes, they gave us a platform and an introduction to wine.
Right.
And then I went to Italy. I worked with a small and a boutique winery, family-owned winery called Fattoria Zarbina.
Mhm.
The best part about working with them was that even the owner is working with you.
Okay.
So for me, more than learning the technicalities, it was very important to understand the work culture and instill in us. That's what translates into a good wine.
Right.
So and I used to work in vineyards in the cellar as well, but harsh conditions working in the vineyards. But then yes, that's what resulted into a really good wine.
Okay.
So back then I realized that the best wines are made in the vineyards,
Right.
or other wines are made in the vineyards,
Right.
good or bad.
True, true. You talked about biotechnology. I would say even I did my biotechnology. I did my graduation in biotechnology from Nasik itself. So, what was that one single part or one single major factor which you would say that made you come into the wine industry? What was that one thing that drove you after biotechnology saying that yes, I will be going into wine industry?
After doing it there was one glamorous aspect of wine business which is always showcased
True.
everywhere across the globe, but that's not the case. That's when you realize when you start working. And then second thing is I always wanted to be close to the nature.
Okay.
So with wine or winemaking and viticulture, I always have this aspect of being in the nature and relating myself and winemaking with the nature.
Right. So, Mr. Pai is the owner of Vallonne.
Yeah, he's the founder and chairman.
Right. But then, as a face of Vallonne, it is always considered as Sanket. How do you feel as the face of Vallonne?
Uh, I'm very proud that I'm representing Vallonne Vineyards, and being a winemaker, when people talk to me about wines, about Vallonne Vineyards, I don't have to think. Like the conviction comes on its own.
Right.
So, and Vallonne, or rather Mr. Pai has given me a platform and freedom to make the kind of wines that I would like to enjoy.
Right.
So that's something very fascinating.
Which we actually see in your wines, which are really beautiful.
Thank you.
And we have just crossed our vintage 2023, and I'm pretty sure that many of the wines would be in the bottles as well. If not many, at least few.
Yes, the Riesling 2023. This is bottle.
Okay.
And this is our estate bottle. So right from growing the grapes till bottling, everything has happened here.
Okay. How has been vintage 2023?
2023 was really good for certain grape varieties because it was slightly warm. So we got exceptionally good Cabernet Sauvignon Syrah. Riesling is fruit forward, has that balancing acidity, but not like the one you get in cooler vintages.
Right.
But overall, a good vintage, good
Okay.
harvest.
Okay. Any new wines in your portfolio coming up?
We will be coming up with Syrah Reserve. So, but this is a 2021 harvest, so it was in the barrel for around 15 months.
Okay.
It was bottled in December 2022, so almost 10 months of bottle aging.
Okay.
We are waiting for the label approval, so it will be in market pretty soon. We introduced India's first red desert wine
Right.
made from Syrah. We will be introducing a Sauvignon Blanc Reserve as well.
Oh, that's
Very
really
soon.
amazing.
Yeah. So we did an experimentation with 3 barrels this year. Barrel fermentation followed by barrel aging.
Oh, great.
So that will be launched in a month or so.
Great, great. You said that you like to be with the nature. What are your thoughts on the climate change?
Well, we can't do much about it. What we can do is we can learn to adapt, and that's what winemaking is. Because
Exactly.
the conditions we are a tropical country,
Right.
very different when compared with most of the wine producing regions which fall under temperate zone. So our responsibility is to understand the nature and merge with the nature. So adapting is very important.
Right.
So yes, but again, people in general talk about Indian wines, but actually these are wines made in Nasik. If you come to Nasik, you'll understand. Me as a winemaker, I feel there are so many micro regions in Nasik which
Right.
are yet to be explored.
Right.
And for me, restricting our region to a variety again would be a challenge,
Right.
because one thing that I have realized and understood is you should not generalize when it comes to winemaking,
Right.
and you need to be very flexible and you need to adapt with the conditions. So yes, some part of Nasik, there are so many regions in India which are yet to be explored, and different varieties require different conditions. So you need to find, and India is a new country, so there are different regions which we can actually relate with different winemaking
True.
and wine varieties.
And you think the climate has changed to a very large extent in the recent years?
Past 5 years, there is a drastic change. So Nasik is also known for its mild winter, which we
Right.
generally get from November till end of end of February.
Right.
So this mild winter, when it's nice and prolonged and uniform, that's when we say we have good vintage.
Exactly.
But it's been
Ups and downs.
roller coasters. There are uncertain rains, sometimes hailstorms. So it's a challenge.
So when you talk about challenge, what are the challenges that winemakers have to go through?
Well, climatic challenge which we cannot, as in you need to adapt to it.
Yeah.
You can't do much about it. One good thing that has happened is Indian consumers have started to understand wines. They are taking interest into understand wines. That's a big change. A lot of Indians are traveling. When you travel, you get to taste better wines. You come and ask for better wines, which is helping for a small player like us who are into quality conscious wines. So adapting to the climate and adapting to the market consumers dynamic, these two are the challenges.
Right. And what do you think about the Indian wine industry altogether? How is it progressing?
Honestly, I won't call it an industry as such, because every single winery have their own ways of doing things. They are most of us are running in different directions. So it's too early to call it as an industry
Indian
as
wine
of
industry.
now.
Okay. You emphasize a lot on terroir, especially. So for Vallonne, how important is the terroir in winemaking?
Very important. Like the vineyard that we have exactly in front of the terrace, that's southwest facing, and we purposely planted Cabernet Sauvignon over there. In really good vintages, we are able to draw Anoki out of it. Anoki is our vintage wines,
Right.
which are produced only when the climatic conditions are extremely favorable.
Right.
When we don't have those extremely good conditions, then we do Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve. So that expression of the terroir has been there, and we are seeing the change in trend in so many years now. We are planning to do some vertical tastings as well very soon. We have seen the evolution in Riesling that we have. So we planted Riesling in 2014, and since then we have seen that expression and expression of minerality which is coming in the wine.
Right.
So that is really rare. But you need to provide those conditions so that wine would start giving the expression of
Exactly.
the terroir. And our winemaking and viticulture and even winemaking in the cellar, selection of the yeast, temperature, everything is related to getting the expression of the terroir.
Right. And they all go hand in hand for sure.
True.
Yeah. One grape varietal, if I would ask you, which one would that be that grows really well in India, according to you?
Well, again, I'll talk about Nasik or Vallonne specifically. I'll select two. Vallonne, maybe not many people would agree that Vallonne is a variety which
Neither do I.
yes, but I feel Vallonne is a grape variety which has potential to do extremely well in the conditions around. We are known to do a Vallonne, but we have taken a gap of 2 years. We have uprooted the vineyard, we have replanted the vineyard, so we are in the process of making a Vallonne very soon.
Okay.
In whites, Vallonne, and in reds, I would pick a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
I believe a lot of winemakers would pick Syrah, but I would stick to Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. And one wine varietal which you would consider that would put India on the world map?
Well, I haven't traveled much.
Now, New Zealand has their Sauvignon, which is very famous.
Yeah.
There are many other countries. Australia has their Syrah. So, what would you say that India? What does India have?
Again, I think it will be too early.
Okay.
Because there are so many, like Chenin Blanc, for example. Chenin Blanc in Nasik is showing extremely good result. You have been producing very good Chenin Blanc. Syrah, when well made, has shown those good results. Sauvignon Blanc also. So I don't think I'll be able to pinpoint a particular variety
Okay.
as of now. I think it's too early.
Okay.
Let's experiment and then we will.
Okay. So, Malacca
Okay.
Spice has been with Vallonne since last, say, 4 years now?
So we the winery was started in 2009. That's when we did the first crush, and 2016 is when the hospitality arm started.
Okay.
And back then we had really good association with Malacca Spice since 2009 in their outlet in Pune. But then we roped in Malacca Spice because we wanted a good hospitality partner.
Right.
So since 2016.
So, how is it helped the sales out here at Vallonne?
Well, as I told you, we wanted a good hospitality partner. So Vallonne, I would say it's not only winemaking. It's a mix of. We wanted to provide good wine experience. So we have one of the finest location in the industry. Good food, good wines, and that's what Vallonne is.
Okay.
We also believe in educating people.
Mhm.
So that's the reason wine tours are conducted, either me or someone from the wine crew.
Okay.
So education is again a very important, it's a key to building a good market.
Okay. I personally love the Thai curry out here. What would you pair? Which wine would you pair with the Thai curry?
Well, if it's a green Thai curry, then I would definitely pick a Riesling or a Rosé. Red, I won't pick a complex Cabernet Sauvignon, maybe a Syrah Merlot.
Okay.
That should go well.
Okay. Time for a bit of a wine gyan. So at Vallonne, Sanket actually does his desert wine, makes his desert wine using the Pasito style. So basically they hung their grapes in the vineyards, they cut it down and then bring it out here, and then they again literally shrivel it down and then make wine out of it.
Yeah. So I think it's a improved, or rather an adapted version of Pasito. Because in Pasito you harvest the grapes, you lay them on the mats.
Yeah.
We chose to do a different way because it has to match with the conditions that we have. So because it gets warmer over here, so when we harvest the grapes, we do selection in the vineyard. Secondly, over here,
Okay.
then we built a small straw hut in the vineyard, which is all covered by dried grass, and
Okay.
we attach parallel wires in that straw hut. Once we receive those bunches, we tie each and every bunch, keep them hanging on the wire. Labor-intensive process.
And
generally, we tie 3 tons of grapes.
How many days would it take?
4 days and 150 people in these 4 days to do this laborious job,
Wow.
tying and hanging. Once that is done, we leave the grapes for 3 to 4 weeks. So once we have those parameters, we harvest the grapes or harvest the raisins. We put them in the press. We try and extract juice out of it. So the idea of not doing a late harvest is because we are in a warmer country. So the acid level drops drastically
Yeah.
when you are shielding the grapes on the vines. Then there's the balance is lacking.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we pick it at a particular maturity. We are able to retain that good acidity and shielding it under our conditions.
Okay. So how was this experience altogether, and any challenges that you have faced during this whole method that you were doing?
So when we had a French winemaker, Marie Babe. So this was introduced by her. But when we did it for the first year, that was in 2011, a small batch, experimental batch, we laid it on, not on mats, but shed nets. But then when the bunches are close to each other, the chances of rotting and those disease infection
Yeah.
goes up. Then gradually this idea came that let's do it in this particular way.
Okay.
So it's an evolution of the process, and it has continued to evolve. Like
Okay.
this year, like so far we have done our dessert wine from Chenin Blanc. This year for the first time we did a dessert wine from Syrah,
Okay.
which was we wanted to try something new.
Different.
So after the fermentation or after the shielding part was done, juice was extracted. The fermentation happened in barrel.
Okay.
So barrel fermentation, a bit of barrel aging, and then straight into the bottle.
Great. What's your go-to drink other than wine? What would you drink on a normal day if not wine?
Well, I like to relish and understand something that I'm drinking. You can call it an occupational hazard, but drinking with friends, understanding and sharing a drink, talking about that drink, so it could be anything.
Okay.
It could be a water from a well.
Okay.
So it could be anything, but the conversation aspect of it makes it.
Okay. What I've seen throughout the years is that winemakers, they usually tend to go towards beer if it has not been wine.
Well, no, I won't go towards beer. I've tried that, but I don't think beer is
Your cup of tea?
No, not my cup. I would prefer a green tea.
Okay, so Vallonne in a true sense, it is a boutique winery. Do you guys have any plan for expansion?
Well, the plan for expansion, in fact, our tank capacity is underutilized.
Okay.
The expansion would be more towards a hospitality or tourism aspect of it.
Okay.
So the plan is to add 15-20 cottages.
Okay.
We have ample land around, and then work more on the hospitality part of it, because we want people to come here, experience Vallonne's hospitality.
Right. And where all are you available at the moment?
We are not so aggressive in marketing. So, and we produce 70 to 80,000 bottles in a year.
Okay.
And around 45% of the produce is sold from the winery. Apart from that, we are available in Mumbai, Pune. Less in retail outlet, more into restaurants and fine dines.
Okay. One fun fact is that Sanket is considered as one of the most serious winemakers in the industry. He's been with Vallonne since 2009, since the inception. Yeah, and he has been training a lot of interns under him, and they are all doing really well at the moment, I suppose. Right?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay, so that was the questions that I had for you. I have a small little gift for you. It's like a small little gift hamper. So that's for you.
Interesting. Thank you, Shagit.
It's most welcome.
And all the best. And I'm really happy that you started something like this. And I'm looking forward for the coming episodes.
Definitely.
Wherein we'll get more into the technicalities.
Definitely will do
People
that.
would want to know more about the technicalities
Sure.
and what's happening And especially recently, there has been a lot of buzz around Indian wines.
Right.
People want to come and experience and explore what's happening around.
Exactly.
So a lot of Australians, a lot of Europeans have been coming us, Japanese people.
Right.
So which is a good thing for all of us, as in for the entire industry.
Hospitality and tourism is one important thing for the wine industry. Not just Indian wine industry, but all over the world for sure.
Right.
Great. So that was it on this episode of Wine with Shagit. Please do like, subscribe, Wine with Shagit on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.